Because right now they just had another big fight up at Finger while we talking. The beat goes on.
That's that brother right there, man. They're putting him in the... That's the body. Damn. This young brother that we just finished doing some mediating with, close friends, just got killed. The possibility of retaliation at that moment was very, very likely.
They just shot right now on 30th and Kedwell again.
30th and Kedwell?
Right
Get
now.
the out of here again right now?
Right now, a couple minutes ago.
Police are going to be harassing a lot of guys over here, whether they're affiliated or not. I think the police should enforce the laws, but I think it's the way they go about it. There's a reason why people in the community don't really like talking to the police. They see other guys, they see their nephews, they see their brothers, they see their sisters, being harassed. Just because there's a high presence of police right now, that doesn't mean nothing for these guys, man. Within 30 hours, there was about 7 shootings.
Eddie always presents himself as a preppy, school-going, collegiate type of guy.
I said, look, man, there ain't nothing shaking, man. They ain't trying to hear it, and...
When you talk to him about his street pass, oh, no, we don't want to go there, man. We don't want to go there. But at the same time, he came from the lifestyle with the Latino gangs, and he wasn't no low-level member. He was right there with the leader. They called him Bandit because he would end up taking something from you.
My nickname? Well, I was pretty good at stealing cars. Give me a screwdriver and this in a minute and I'm gone with your car. So this is a block and little village that I actually grew up in. I have a lot of memories here. Right hand of God. I had about almost half of this parking lot full of stolen cars at one time. But one day the city, I guess, found all these stolen cars. So there was about maybe 7, 8 tow trucks just lined up, taking these cars out. Most of our parents immigrated from Mexico, worked 2 jobs. We were out here in the street, roaming around. My dad was a hardworking person. He fixed cars. And I would see my dad's hands, and they'd be full of calluses, and cuts all over his arm and burn marks, from the blowtorches. From day one, I told myself, I am never gonna be fixing cars. It wasn't me. I didn't feel it. It lit up in me when I saw some things in the neighborhood. And I would see these guys hanging out. They're a lot older than I was. They had the nice cars, had the girls, were flashing their colors. What it was is they had a pride of who they really were. They had an identity and they were proud of that identity. Half of my life, I was in prison. That's why I do what I do now. To me, it's a personal thing. How you been feeling? You been moving around a little more now or what?
Yeah, before I couldn't even walk. The dressing, this is what I got clean. Because I gotta take a dump right here in the bag.
How much of an impact are we making? If we stop one shooting tonight, we did good.
Where the bullet went through.
But how do we stop maybe the same person from shooting somebody the next day? Get along, man.
Has anybody been here to visit? A couple of my friends.
They've been cool or they've been like, oh man, that.
They be on some hype. I don't know how it is.
Am I really helping? Some people, I can't. Even as much as I want to, they don't want the help.
Yo le digo a él que no hay que buscar venganzas.
Es la cosa, ¿para qué?
Venganzas, nada. Tenemos que vivir bien.
The needless and brutal violence that continues to take our children from us is an outrage.
Youth violence is not a Chicago problem. It is something that affects.
In Pilsen, I remember growing up, he was like the youngest one of all of us. He was the baby. Him and my other little brother, Frank, the 1 year younger than him. He was just a chunky, happy kid. He liked to eat, and he was chunky. He always had a smile on his face. And my mom had a photo where he was there and he was laughing and he had his cheeks were all chunky, his nose was pushed out, and he was eating. I mean, all we did was just play with each other, like going to the parks. We always stood with each other. We knew when the street light came out, we were literally in front of the house. And overall, we just played and he just had a good time there. And then once we came to the back of the yards, he always messed around with crews. When I got shot, I got to fight one of the guys. He stabbed me, then the snitch and all that other stuff. That pushed me away. And then when I got shot, I found out they had turned him in. So I kept going to the neighborhood, kicking him out of the meetings, chasing him out, and just like overall keeping him out of there, because I knew the life it was. I've seen my brother's girlfriend, cousin died in my arms. His little brother died in a funeral procession 2009, the one right here by Archer. He's the one I told you to witness the murder of the lady that got shot in the head on Halloween. And the way there, he got shot. And, that's two of them. And then in between, right before then, their cousin got shot, who also I grew up with in Pilsen. We were like brothers. So, I started seeing all that, and I kept trying to chase him away. But as I got older, I started focusing on my life. He started hanging around with the guys, and they started showing him, giving him things that he wanted. Like if he wanted to smoke weed, hey, here's some weed. Comforting him, bringing him into the circle. And then eventually be like, hey man, you want to turn boys? Yeah, hey, let's turn boys. Well, here's a gun, you gotta go pull a hit. Stuff like that. And then once you pull your first hit, it's like, when you get away with it, it's a rush. It's a rush that somebody gets hurt, somebody gets caught. It's live or die. And I used to tell him, better them than you, right? I started getting pushed away from it because, the unfortunate incidents that happened. But also, when I started working and I started getting money and making money and not having to go to jail doing it, it felt good. But he started seeing the rush. But he didn't pay too much attention to the consequences of that rush. You could get shot, you could get killed, anything, and it's unfortunate because my brother got shot right here where he died. I got shot down the street in the middle of the block in Disney. Across the street, my brother got shot in Disney, the exact same spot, except half the bullet caught half my bone, came out my kneecap, the bullet caught his bone where they put screws on this side. Then another kid got killed right there that he was with on Thanksgiving. And when my brother got shot, that's where the cops tried to pin a gun on me. And I beat that case. So that one street right there is bad karma for us. Very bad karma.
Strange thing in hindsight, right? To be like, yeah, I was out there, it was good enough for me, like I gangbang. But like, no, not for my family.
Yeah, he'll tell me something. But you do it. And I'm like, yeah, look at me now. Look at me now. I'm struggling. Look at me. Like, I can't walk around. I can't do this. I can't do that. You can. Why do you want to give that up? And, just sitting there arguing. I just end the conversation. Well, I'm your older brother and you're going to have to listen to me. So he started distancing himself. And then, I think like the smartest thing he did was last year, him and his baby's mother, she left to South Dakota to better herself. And he said, I'll keep the kids here and I'll take care of them. While you get your job and get situated, and I'll send them back. So, he was making grown decisions. It's just that he just kept, going back and forth in and out the neighborhood. But if he wasn't like he was 5 years ago when he stayed in the neighborhood, he tried to live in the neighborhood. So he was trying to change his life around. I remember I texted you a to-do list.
Yeah.
He wrote that in prison. And he was trying to follow up on it. You seen he had his kids. So, it was one step at a time. With all them killings and stuff, I wasn't really upset. Sad. I was more angry. Man, we gotta go get these guys. Running over there with guns and looking for them. Yeah, it was real. But after 2007, that's when, like, what am I fighting for? What's it all worth? And dying for that, for a street that I'm only going to get 10 minutes of fame for, isn't worth it. No, it wasn't. Getting shot at, having near-death experience, it wasn't worth it. It was all territorial. It was all pride. Like, yeah, we ain't scared of you. We're not bitches. Let's do this. That's what it was. It wasn't. Or being bullied. That's what it really was. We wanted to be the bullies. We wanted to show them we weren't scared of them. You know, come drive down our block, see if you don't get lit up. That's what it was. But once I started seeing all my friends and kinfolk die, it was like, I don't want to be a statistic. My son just went to school Thursday, and she told me that my son was crying to her saying, I don't want that to happen to my dad. You know, what happened to my brother. So, I mean, that's even pushing me more away from it. You know, I really want to go over there and retaliate so bad. That's what I feel in my heart, but in my head is like, is it all worth it? You know, and it's not. It really isn't. That's why I just go to work and come home. You know, everything's still a blur to me. You know, I mean, still trying to grasp this whole situation. You know, so I still can't believe my brother's dead. So yeah, I mean,